Right folks, hello. Yet another snowy, horrible, cold winter day at the yard again, and today's job is going to be the Nissan Pathfinder's fuel filter. So, very simple job really. Situated just here. Okay, so we've got to get this cover off, and that's using that 10mm socket, and then this is the clip with the pliers. Sometimes you can do it with your fingers anyway. Pull that off. We'll get this off, and then we fill up the other filter, screw it back on, pump it through. There's your manual pump there, just to see that through, and I'll show you that. And then basically we put the hose back on and fire up. It should be all good. It's a fairly simple job actually for the fuel filter, and as I said, and I'll show it in the other video, the oil filter is actually situated right underneath the fuel filter, so that's the route I tend to go in. As I know, there are other routes in, sometimes through the wheel arch liner. Perhaps some people go in from underneath, but I've found over the years actually to do the oil filter this way. So if you're going on to do the oil filter change and oil change, this might be the time to do it anyway, or do your fuel filter at the same time as the oil filter, because you end up doing the two jobs in one go. Okay, so for the fuel filter change for the Nissan Pathfinder, you're going to need a few tools here. Typically I do the oil filter, fuel filter, oil change, all of it at the same time. I haven't on this occasion, but I normally do them all together because I'm going down from the top anyway to get the oil filter off. The fuel filter has to come out the way anyway, so why not just change it at the same time? But anyway, on this occasion I'm doing it in isolation. Okay, so these are the items that you're going to need. Okay, I've got a wrench here to get the fuel filter off. Okay, I've got here 10mm socket ratchet for the top cover. You're going to need that for getting the top cover off, because obviously the fuel filter sits sort of beside that. It's easier to have that off. Some pliers here just for loosening the clip, the hose to the fuel filter. You've got the fuel filter here. Okay, and then the key thing is make sure when you're doing a new fuel filter, have some diesel. So go out and get some if you don't have any now. I can't remember the quantity this takes, but quite clearly, you know, there is a manual pump on there, and I'll show you that. But you won't be able to pump that sort of volume of liquid up just on the manual pump. So this is used just to fill up the filter just before you go in to the putting it back on. Okay, so right, let's get on with the process then. So the first thing I tend to do is get this engine cover off. I've just undone these bolts. These are 10mm bolts here. Undo these. Just use the ratchet there, and then pull the cover off. The job is quite simple actually. It's not a difficult job. It's just a bit fiddly to do. So I'm just going to get these bolts out. This one here. Trying to drop all the washers. So I'm going to stick those on the ground, and then just move this out of the way. And then it's a case of just pulling this up. I'm just going to try and see. You have to pull it up from the back. I tend to. Okay. Just gets a bit caught up. That's all. That's it. Okay. So move that out there. Okay. Right. So the first stage I do is on this is just all I've done is just lightly grip the filter in the vise. It's more standing on its base really rather than anything. And the next step is to fill this up with. So I tend to just use a funnel here, and then just fill this up with diesel. As I said, further back is you're not going to pump all this diesel. There's so much quantity here, don't know what it is, half a litre maybe. You're not going to pump that up, so use your can of diesel that you would have purchased already, and you can then use this to fill this up. That's the first step I do, and then we go out to the car. So now you can see that I've just used my diesel here to fill up the filter. So that's now done, and that can now be placed back onto the vehicle. You can see I've just brimmed that to the top there. You will spill a bit when you're trying to get in, because you've got to tilt it in a bit, but it's a fairly simple process. As I was saying, I'm going to be taking this clip off of here. I do sometimes use some pliers, but sometimes these are easy with your hands, so just drop that down. Depends obviously how tight and how long these have been on for, because the hose does get sometimes stuck on there. Just be careful with the hoses, obviously. It should just drop down. That's it, and that pulls off of there. And then with my filter pliers, wrench, I just literally undo this. So takes just a bit to undo. So I'll drop the camera now, because there's going to be a bit of diesel spillage under here. Yes, that's now with the filter off, so that's where it would sit. Okay, so I'm going to now put the new one back on. So this new one's back on, and it's just literally just to spin it up, that's all. And this only needs to be finger tight. You don't need to do anything. I don't. You can see, look, already this outlet valve here is already. And then all I do is just push down on here on the manual pump, and just watch for the. That's looking quite good actually now. So then the pipe can go back on. Clip go on. Some of these can be a bit tight. That's it. That's it. And then we're there. And all you need now do is put the top cover back on here with the 10mm bolts, and fire it up and see if it's all good. Thank you for watching.